You're listening to the Vibrant Vision Podcast, a podcast designed to help you get clarity, increase your confidence, and cultivate the most important connections so you can have the impact you were created to make. I'm your host, Amanda Kerrigan. Now let's get to making that vibrant vision a reality. Hi there, welcome to episode 4 of the Vibrant Vision Podcast. Now last week we talked about the question, are you winding down or ramping up? So this week we're going to talk about how do you set that vision? Where do you want to go in 2022? And then how do you use 2021 to build momentum on 2022? And that all starts with the foundation of this podcast, a vibrant vision. Now, why do we set vision? First of all, it sets your destination. So just as if you were going on vacation or going on some sort of trip, you would have a destination in mind. You wouldn't just get in a car and start driving. So if I were to go on vacay with my family, we wouldn't just get in the car and start driving northeast from Colorado, because we could end up in Wisconsin, New York, Boston, or Maine. And those are all very different destinations. So without a vision, most people choose a direction, but they don't choose a destination. And the power that we have as humans is we get to choose where we end up. We get to choose what people say at the end of our lives about us. And that's a pretty radical concept. But we get to have that destination in mind. And not having a destination is basically a recipe for ending up in a cow patty instead of looking at the fall colors. So a vision will provide guidance for your goals. Last week, you set some goals. You set some pretty audacious goals. Now, this week, it's important to remember that those goals need to line up with your vision. So take a look at those. Do they line up with the destination that you want to go in? A lot of times, my clients will come to me and they have a long list of goals and activities and projects and tasks that they're doing. And when I ask, how does this align with your vision? I usually get a couple of answers. First of all, I have no idea. Or, I'm not quite sure. Well, it kind of ties in because, and then they realize it doesn't tie in at all. And the problem is, if we don't set vision, we could be working towards some goals, but they're not the right goals, or they're not right now goals. You know that proverbial saying, you were climbing the right ladder, but it was leaning against the wrong wall? You don't want to do that. You don't want to waste another year setting the wrong goals, or setting goals that you're just not quite sure about, or that you're not on fire for. And that's why we set vision. It ensures that you set the right goals for the right season of your life. Like I said, are they the right goals for right now? I had a goal at the beginning of the year to go to grad school. I wanted to enroll in a graduate program by the end of 2021. And after I had some conversations with some people that I trusted, and I had some conversations with God about my career, where I wanted to go, and I came to the conclusion that grad school, at least in this season, is not the right goal for me. I don't need a master's degree to validate that I have coach training. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the ICF credentials, which I just did, they're basically like a graduate degree. So I would be holding, once I get my ICF ACC Associate Certified Coach in the beginning of 2022, it's like holding a graduate degree. So I made a decision that that goal was not in alignment with my vision. It's not a right now goal. Will I go back to graduate school? Quite possibly, but not in 2022. I'll tell you that. I don't have time. I'm too busy serving my clients and serving veterans through my day job. The second reason we set vision is because it's a powerful motivator. Vision is a powerful motivator because it pulls us forward. It pulls us out of what Michael Hyatt calls the messy middle, when you're in the middle of achieving your goals and you're just like, I don't know if I can make it. It's like when I was running cross country in high school and we had this horrible hill in the middle of our course. And I just was like, I can't do it. But guess what? I did. And it was the best feeling in the world once I topped that hill, and that vision, that finish line that I knew I was going to cross, is what kept me going. And that finish line, that vision, is what's going to keep you going up the hard hills too. It gives you the motivation and inspiration, because remember, motivation is external, but inspiration is internal. to get up an hour early to start working on that book, or to get in that extra mile because you want to run that marathon. And my vibrant vision is what made me stay at my piano a little bit longer last night working out that hard lick, because you know what? I want to be a competent lead player for piano. And to do that, I've got to be able to play that E flat to E run competently and confidently. And that motivation provided by your vibrant vision is going to be that fuel that your internal fire needs when you feel like it's burning down to embers. This is why I read my vibrant vision at least weekly, at least. And I read through my goals on a daily basis. It takes me 2 minutes to read through my goals, and maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes if I'm like really being prayerful and reflective to read through my vibrant vision. Okay, it doesn't take that much time, but it reaps a significant reward for reading that and getting in touch with that and really just tapping in to what my vibrant vision is. So how do we set vision? This is a 2-part episode. So I'm going to give you, first of all, how do you set up for your time of vision in this episode? And then next week, I have an episode for you on how do we set vision once we get there. Okay, so this is 2 parts. This is part 1. And then we'll get into part 2 next week. And I actually have a handout for you next week. So hang on and we'll get into it. So the first thing is to schedule it. I'm a huge fan of this. You need at least 2 hours, and I prefer to do half a day of my visioning. So put it on the calendar. I told you last week, what gets scheduled gets done. The next one is get away. So get scheduled and then get away. Find a place that you can go that is not your normal day-to-day working area, especially if you have littles or a spouse that likes to come in and like, hey, honey, I want to tell you about, oh, yeah, oh, my goodness. I was on the phone with a friend the other day, and she was like, oh, my gosh, I have to go to my car and sit outside because my kids are driving me insane. So if you really believe in your potential and believe in those things that are impossible, and you want to believe in that, you've got to get away, because sitting in your day-to-day environment is going to drag you down. Third thing is envision it. Picture having a vision that pulls you forward, not slogging through your daily life, but having that vision that is going to pull you forward. Connect with it. Connect with it emotionally. How is it going to feel? Connect with it physically. What will it be like? How light will you feel in your body? Connect with it mentally. What thoughts are you thinking? How are you thinking about your life? And then connect with it spiritually. What lift and inspiration will come once you have this vision? The fourth one is keep your commitment. It's so easy for us to not keep our commitments to ourselves. So when somebody comes up to you and says, hey, what are you doing Saturday morning? It's easy for us to say, oh, well, what do you want me to do? But if you have this on your calendar, if you have it scheduled, you're committed to it, you can say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm booked on Saturday morning. I have another commitment. What about Sunday? What about Friday? You know, whatever works for you. If that's something that you want to do, then you can reschedule it. Don't break your commitment to your visioning session. The biggest thing that I want you to remember is if you say yes to something, then you're effectively saying no to everything else. So if you say yes to just going to a movie or going shopping or whatever, you're saying no to your future. And that's a hard trade-off to make, but it seems easy in the moment. If you're an extrovert, you can invite somebody to join you. I do a yearly visioning session with one of my dear friends because I'm an extrovert. I need that input. I need that flow back and forth. I need that companionship of just saying, hey, can we sit and do our visions together? And it just sounds really sad to vision alone to me. If you're an introvert and you're like, I just want that alone time, do it. Vision in solitude. That is perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're an extrovert and you're like, 4 hours by myself visioning, don't do it. Find somebody else you can vision with. Come prepared is the next one. Come prepared physically. Get plenty of sleep. Have plenty of water. Have some snacks. Come prepared mentally. Get those thoughts in order. take every thought captive. Don't think, oh, that's impossible. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, I'm never going to get the life I want. Because guess what? That is going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, believe in yourself and believe in your ability to change your life and believe in your ability to make next year the best year yet. And then the following year, even better. Because guess what? You have that capacity. If you're sitting here listening to this podcast right now, you have the capacity to make things better. So prepare your thinking. Prepare yourself emotionally. Get ready for big things to happen and prepare spiritually. I like to pray through a lot of things, especially the areas of my life where I'm going to be visioning, especially if I know that I'm going to be specifically focusing on my business vision or specifically focusing on my health vision. I'll just pray over it and ask the Lord to do what He can do, only He can do. Because frankly, if He's not in the vision, then we are not going to succeed. Some other things that I also like to do is to journal. If you are a visual person, I have a client who is very visual and she likes to draw. And so she has her sketch pad with her when she does her visioning because she loves to draw it out. She doesn't want to just, write it. She wants to draw it. So if you're a drawing kind of person, have that sketch pad, have your art supplies. If you're a writer, I would encourage you to write things longhand because that stimulates the right side of our brain. I can't write, but whenever I'm doing my visioning, I specifically do it in Braille because, as I mentioned in a few other episodes, I'm blind, so I can't handwrite, but all of my visioning is done in Braille because I know that Braille stimulates the right side of my brain, so I'm intentional about it. So I'm asking you to be intentional as well. And then I encourage you, once you get to your visioning session, to put your phone on Do Not Disturb, block those social media accounts unless you're going to use them during your visioning session. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But the thing is, you don't want something to pull you away because nothing will kill your vision faster than getting caught in the compare snare in Instagram. And my final piece of visioning wisdom for you today is to enjoy it. Enjoy the heck out of planning your future and co-creating your future with your Heavenly Father, because guess what? It is going to be beautiful. And remember that this is your time to be intentional about where do you want to be spiritually in December of 2022 and beyond. You can vision for 3 years out. If that's more helpful to you, perfect. Where do you want to be physically? Where do you want to be emotionally? Where do you want to be in your career, financially, with your family and your friends? How much time do you want to spend relaxing? My sister has recently taken up golf again, and she is loving it. I don't understand that, y'all. I'm not a golfer. I'm horrible at even mini golf, but my sister loves it, and it's actually helping her with her stress. And imagine your future with no limits because you serve a limitless God. So next episode, we're going to talk about what happens when you get to your vision session, and I have a handout for you to use. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this episode, if you found this episode to be helpful, I would really appreciate a review. Again, reviews help me reach more people. And if you know somebody who needs to set a vision, I would appreciate you just sharing this episode with them, because the more people that you can help me reach, the more people that will be living life on purpose. So I encourage you to take 20 minutes or so in the next couple of days to plan your vision session. Put it on your calendar. Get support from your spouse and your kids and whoever else you need that support from to have that time away. Or even better, ask them to join you. If you have a family that enjoys visioning, mine does not. To be honest, my parents are like, why are you even talking about this? But if you have a family and you can get them on board with visioning with you, then I encourage you to do it. Find a place to get away that brings you joy and inspires you to dream. Make a plan to prepare yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and just have fun with it. That's my biggest advice. If visioning isn't fun, then you're not going to have a vibrant vision. So have fun with it. Until next time, get clarity. get confident, get connected, and live your vibrant vision.